Euro 2024 is finally here, and with England set to play their first match of Group C at 8 PM on Sunday evening, it's time to take a look at what to expect from our first opponent, Serbia. I'll be posting match previews and post-match reactions for every England fixture in Euro 2024, so if you like what you see in this one, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to stay up to date with the channel in future. This may be Serbia's second consecutive tournament on the international stage after featuring in the 2022 World Cup, but it's actually their first ever Euros as an independent nation following the dissolution of Yugoslavia in 2006. And even under their previous guise, they haven't featured the Euros in 24 years. And they'll be hoping to fare much better in Group C in Germany this summer after finishing rock bottom of Group G in Qatar 2 years ago behind Brazil, Switzerland and Cameroon with just a single point to their name. Unfortunately though, their rocky Euro 2024 qualification has given fans little reason to feel things might play out much differently against England, Slovenia and Denmark over the next 2 weeks. The Serbians may have finished second in their pool behind Hungary, but qualification for this tournament was a much bumpier ride for manager Dragan Stojkovic than expected, who has remained in post since their World Cup collapse. Neighbours Montenegro and Lithuania proved to be no issue in either of their two fixtures, but 2 losses to Hungary and 2 draws to bottom of the group Bulgaria meant they only just scraped through to the finals, and their bumpy form has raised more questions about their durability in tournament football. Even their past 4 friendlies leading into the tournament make for patchy reading, despite a confident 3-0 win over Sweden in their last match before jetting off for Germany. It's Serbia's exceptional firepower up top in the form of an Alexander Mitrovic and Dusan Vlahovic strike partnership that dragged them through though, and tactically for Stojkovic it's all and only about playing to the strengths of his front line. The manager has chopped and changed the rest of his personnel and his formations over the past 12 months, but he tends to favour a back three with wing backs to service his forwards, and that's likely how he'll set up against England. Serbia's game is all about getting balls out onto the wings, creating overloads and delivering crosses into the box to be greeted by their tall forwards, in particular Mitrovic, who is exceptional in the air. They do occasionally play out from the back and try to dominate possession, but their poor pass completion rate means they mostly veer towards playing long balls, moving into a 3-2-5 shape in possession to maximise their chance of winning the ball higher up the pitch. Now this often works against defensively weak teams, but it's also why they struggled against Hungary and struggled at the World Cup. Opposition with defenders that are comfortable winning aerial battles can more or less neutralise their sole method of attack. Their other main issue is their defence, or at least the setup of their defence, because they play so gung-ho up top that they can get ripped apart in transition. When they lose the ball, they press high in an attempt to quickly win it back, and that can often make things worse for them. They kept just 2 clean sheets in 8 in qualifying and faced the second most counter-attacking shots of any team during that period. In a nutshell, if Serbia are afforded repeat chances to win those long balls up top or to whip the ball into those strong centre forwards, they can do damage, but nullify that delivery and they can be very open to concede themselves. So, ones to watch. 29-year-old Alexander Mitrovic, Serbia's all-time top scorer, is an obvious one. He ended the season as the Saudi Pro League's second top scorer with 28 goals and was looking like an adequate Premier League striker with Fulham prior to his transfer. His strike partner, 25-year-old Dusan Vlahovic, bagged 16 for Juventus in Serie A this season, also finishing second to the Golden Boot in his league. He can change the game off the bench and he offers Serbia the ability to double up top. Captain Dusan Tadic, despite now being 35 years old, was an important source of creativity for them throughout qualification. Playing in that number 10 role, he provided a team highest 4 assists in 8 matches. He scored 10 goals for Fenerbahce this season and he brings plenty of European experience to this side, much needed for a team that has been absent on this stage for so long. 22-year-old centre mid Lazar Samasic, meanwhile, is seen as Tadic's successor. He scored 6 goals and 2 assists for Udinese this season and he could be an impactful substitute during those Group C games. So, what about England themselves? A week on from those surprise omissions to the squad being announced and the damp squib of the Iceland friendly, the team have been out in Weimar training this week ahead of Serbia on Sunday. Of chief concern is John Stones, who missed training on Wednesday through illness, having been subbed off at half-time at Wembley with an injury scare. Not exactly ideal given our other first choice centre-back Maguire didn't even make the squad through injury himself. Stones was back in training on Thursday and reportedly looked comfortable, so fingers crossed he will be alright for Sunday. On the topic of Maguire, another big question is who will be starting in his place, with the presumed answer being Gahey, who played 62 minutes against Bosnia and the full 90 minutes v Iceland. Konsa and Dunk, of course, are also options, although the former was an unused sub against Iceland and the latter didn't make it onto the bench. Saka, who ended the season with an injury and didn't feature in either of those friendlies, is expected to be fit enough to start, while Trippier is likely to feature in place of Luke Shaw at left back while he pushes closer to full recovery. The final point of note is that Trent Arnold is reportedly in line to start the match in midfield alongside Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. Not the biggest surprise after being handed the number 8 shirt in the squad and featuring in midfield numerous times over the past 12 months, but it is very interesting that Southgate is going to finally take this gamble at the tournament itself. So, all that leaves is a prediction, and while I see it as very possible that Serbia will get on the score sheet, quite possibly with the opener to really stun us, I do think our defensive midfield and even our makeshift backline will be strong enough to suppress them overall, and I think our own front line will be too much for Serbia to handle. That's just my guess. I'd love to hear your own thoughts and predictions too, so do let me know in the comments below what you think the score is going to be. Thank you so much for watching this preview, and remember, if you've enjoyed this one, I'm going to be posting a preview and a post-match reaction for every England fixture at Euro 2024. So make sure you hit like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with those. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Come on, England.